Hello everyone, Andrew here, and welcome back to Super Mario Land 2! Last time we did the intro level and the first 3 levels of the Tree Zone, or rather the first 2 levels plus the secret level, and today we are finishing off the Tree Zone with the final 3 levels. And in case the the open overworld wasn't enough for you, the Tree Zone itself even gives you more of an option where you can do either Tree Zone 4 or 5, which will then lead you to number 6. So you can just completely skip one of these levels if you don't like them. Something that I also forgot to point out at the end of the last video is since we found all of the secret exits in Tree Zone, the background actually changed. If you go back to my last video and you compare when we entered this world, you'll notice that all of the things in the background were leaves, but now there are some animated flowers, and when the background changes like that, it indicates that you have found all of the secret levels that are hidden within that world. So keep an eye out for that as we play the other worlds in this game, and see if you can find out what changes once we have unlocked all of the secret levels. With that said though, I usually start from the left, and I usually call this one Tree Zone number 4, or number 3 rather, and then the other one would be 4. I guess the boss one's 5. The secret level always throws me off, the way it's just over to the side and not doing anything at all. But anyway, we're doing the one with the crazy ant, so let's do it. And the interesting thing about this level is that in the Super Game Boy book that I have, it actually has a recommended color that you should use for this level, which we are going to enter right now. So have a look at this code and tell me what you think of the colors that it results in. You can email Nintendo telling them whether or not they totally messed up, or if you agree with their opinion in what makes this level look nice. So we got 9, 6, 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 3. So there you go, yeah, like an orangey, maybe autumn tree background with some green leaves, and this is, like I said, a recommended code from Nintendo to use for this level, and it looks pretty nice. It's interesting. Again, if you press the X button, it will show you what the game would look like if you hadn't entered any code at all. So that's what it would normally look like. I guess probably if you played on like the Game Boy player. And that's what it looks like now, so we made it a little bit more vibrant. It's also a secret 1-up right there, and I could swear that you could cheat even more and like get up to that platform there, but maybe not. I might be thinking of a different part of this level. But yeah, this is an interesting level. We're kind of just jumping through the trees. It really is platforming all over the place. Interesting thing about this game is that it actually has piranha plants that come out of the pipe normally, and even ones that spit fire at you, which is something that Super Mario World didn't have. It only had jumping piranha plants. It was originally planned in the beta for there to be normal piranha plants that come out of pipes, but they were never implemented. So I guess this would be the last time that normal piranha plants were really seen until New Super Mario Bros. It should be noted that, of course, there were platforming Mario games on the Game Boy Advance, but those were all just remakes. Like Super Mario Advance 4 was Mario 3 and all that. You can cheat massively here. If you stand here, get this 1-up, and I believe you can pretty much jump right to the end of the level. But we're not going to do that, but just keep that in mind and have a look at just how much of the level you can actually skip if you do that. You can also press up and down to get a little bit more of the screen, so you can see if you're making any blind jumps or things like that. I never understood these bad guys and what their point was. They kind of just fly in the opposite direction and don't really pose much of a threat to Mario whatsoever. So I always thought that those were kind of weird. I thought maybe I was like, missing something. Like, is there something here I'm supposed to be doing that I'm not? Also, whenever you see 2 empty blocks with the space in between, it usually means that there's a secret. So keep that in mind. And it looks like if we fly under here, we can probably get some coins. Although, not sure how well this is going to turn out. Am I going to make it? I totally made it. I guess if you just go on top, you have to deal with Fire Spitting Guy. I don't believe that there's anything else up there. No, there is not. Oh, no, hey, that's kind of cheap. That's kind of a Kaizo trap there that would totally get your Mario Land 2 removed from... Okay, I'm not going to do that every single time. Basically, there's a lot of things in Mario games that are not 100%, perfect. That may get your hack removed from a certain website, should you have done them. But, this is an official game, and Miyamoto's like, forget you, I'm going to make Paint Splash or Color Splash and Sticker Star, and people are going to like them because I say so, even if they are not very good games. Just like that, we have reached the goal. And we even got the bell. What prize are we going to get this time? Last time we actually got a 3-up, which I totally did not address. We got a carrot, so nothing gained, nothing lost. It does kind of suck though, like say I wanted the carrot and I accidentally got a fire flower. That's never fun. Getting 1-ups is probably like the best thing to get. With that said though, we still have this level down here. The Beehive, which we totally don't have to beat, considering that we went up to the final level already. But we're going to do it anyway, for completeness sake. This level has a code which I created, and tell me, what do you think? Considering that it is a Beehive level, I thought that yellow was a fitting color. Maybe it's too much yellow, I don't know. Looking at it now, maybe I went overboard with the yellow, or maybe not. What do you think? All you people out there, especially you people who like yellow, what do you think? My two favorite colors are green and blue, which, I mean, I guess that's probably why in the... Well, I totally shot you with fireballs. You should be destroyed. I guess in, you know, some of the levels we've done so far, I chose to have green and blue color palettes. Because, you know, green and blue are super cool, so I don't like how many hits I've been taking here. Being small Mario is not very reassuring. I think hopefully this is an item, though. So yeah, maybe it's yellow overload, maybe it's not. Let me know. Anyway, the code will be on the screen in case you feel like trying it out yourself. These are like, I guess, you know, Mario Land 2 thwomps. There's a few things in this game that act like thwomps. Also, is there anything up there? No, there's not. This gotta be an item. No, really. I don't need coins. I totally need items. Well, there's the first death of the game. I totally kind of did not interpret that he was covered in spikes. Darn it! I was excited to see how long our deathless streak could go. But it was only a matter of time before Andrew made a silly mistake. You all know that. But that actually gave us an interesting chance to notice that that was a fire flower, despite the fact that we were small Mario. That's reminiscent of... which game is it reminiscent of? That's reminiscent of Mario Maker, where originally you could not make your power-ups progressive. And it would, like, be if you were, even if you were small Mario, blocks would always have either a flower or a leaf. Or I guess it could also have, like, always a mushroom, even if you're already Big Mario. Which was really silly. I don't understand, like, why from the offset they wouldn't have incorporated what was one of the biggest staples of the Mario series since it was created, and that is getting a mushroom when you're small and getting something different when you're big. Like, I don't know. Someone really kind of dropped the ball on that one. But they updated it, and just like they have introduced many updates to Mario Maker, which are very... I almost made the same mistake again. This will actually... I'm totally doing this on purpose. One thing to note is that unlike in Mario World, where a spin jump will allow you to, like, jump on top of things like Potobos and spiked enemies, I don't believe... Man, you're totally going to screw up my demonstration. I don't believe that the spin jump acts like that in Mario Land 2. No, it doesn't. So, the spin jump is definitely not as OP as it is in Mario World. Also, we have an interesting room here with like 5,000 question marks. This almost reminds me of a Mario World bonus game, where you would have to hit the 3 question marks in the correct order in order to get a 1-up, except this time we kind of just get to hit absolutely everything. Except it doesn't really seem like there's anything in it. Oh, there's a star. Okay, fine. Although, it doesn't do me too much good, but I'm stuck in this ditch. Let's see. If we kill you. I can't hear the music, so I'm totally afraid that it's suddenly going to run out, and I'm not going to be prepared for it. Let's go up the other side and see what we can get from there. Got a coin. Something tells me there's going to be a lot of coins mixed in with this. Oh, there's a mushroom, too. Oh, and they still got the whole bouncing effect when you hit a mushroom from underneath. Very cool, though. Well, this is going to cause massive problems. One thing that is that sucks is that since holding down and jumping does a spin jump. Oh, I was not expecting to be able to go down this pipe. I thought I was actually about to demonstrate what I was going to talk about, and now I can't because I'm small Mario. But I was going to say that you cannot do a duck jump, which is something I always used to love doing in Mario games. You know, like whenever there was kind of tight spaces that you needed to jump in. Because when you hold down and do a jump in this game, you do a spin jump, so there's no duck jumping in Mario Land 2, which is kind of annoying. If you want to jump in a tight space, you've got to be small. But let's see here. Can I get under here and get whatever is in these blocks? Nope. When you are ducked in kind of a tight space like that, again, as I just said, you can't duck jump, so I was not able to do any of that. And just like I thought there's a thing there. And it's bonus game time! This time, no matter what we get, I'll be happy, because I kind of want to power up, so... Give me... No, I'm gonna get a mushroom. Darn it! That's like the one thing that I didn't... Okay, I take it back. Man, of course I would mention that anything is good, and then I would proceed to get a mushroom. That's a really silly prize. Why would anybody want just a normal mushroom? With that said, though, we are moving on to the final level of the tree zone. Every single world in Mario Land 2 has a boss, and they are all unique. It's not just like rehashed, you know, Boom Boom or rehashed Koopa Kids. And they're all like interesting things too. So This is the first level we are going to encounter, which has a boss. Interesting thing, though, is that in Mario Land 2, once you have defeated a boss and gotten the golden coin, you cannot then go back and replay that level again when you still have that coin. So I actually did not have a chance to play this level and figure out some nice colors for it. So give me a second to figure that out, and then we will proceed on. Alright, so how about that? I mean, we have like the brown blocks from Mario World and a nice blue sky. I think it looks kind of cool. Maybe it's just me. I'm telling you, everyone, I'm probably getting a million comments saying that my sense in color is absolutely terrible. Although the Goombas look like they're the correct color, so that's kind of cool. Oh, that was a bad jump. See, that's just that weird momentum. That jumping feels kind of weird in this game, but I mean, who cares? Died right at the beginning of the level. It's totally fine. But what I was kind of alluding to earlier, again in this game you can duck as small Mario, even though I don't believe it does anything, considering your hitbox I think stays exactly the same. Yeah, unless you have a really good running start, your jump distance is very bad. So we're up to 3 deaths, and I would say that all 3 of them are very dumb. Very, 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 very dumb. But yeah, in Mario Land 2, if you die, or sorry, if you get game over, which at this rate we might be doing sooner rather than later, or never, you lose all of the golden coins which you have collected, meaning that you have to go back and re-beat all of the bosses that you then had, beat up to that point. So say I had the golden coin from this world, as in I have beaten this level before, and then I died, I would have to replay this level again to get that golden coin back before being able to go to Wario's Castle / Mario's Castle. Something I should also note that's interesting about Mario Land 2 is that you can spin jump question mark blocks from the top. Otherwise, you might be wondering, how do I get those? Because I don't think there's any way to hit them from the bottom. So that's the trick there, is you have to be able to spin jump things from the bottom. I could spin jump here, but it probably would not be a good idea, as it would probably lead us to our doom. But yeah, I mean, that's something that's definitely not initially obvious, considering that in Mario World, you could not hit turn blocks from the bottom, but in this game you can. But this takes me to another thing that I need to point out. Oh, actually, I thought, okay, I guess if I duck there I can do it. You cannot do a spin jump when you are Rabbit Mario, which is, for some reason, it's really dumb. Like, I'm holding down and jumping and it's doing absolutely nothing. But I think you can only spin jump when you are either Fire or just, like, normal Big Mario. It's just kind of silly. Anyway, got one up there. We could fly across here and get coins, but then it looks like we're probably going to be missing stuff up here, so it's kind of a not, I don't know why you'd want to go down. And we're also totally missing a ton of things, too, because we're not Small Mario. No idea what's up there, but I think we're good. 23 lives. We're going to have about 500 coins by the time we're done the first world, so I guess by the time we're done the second world, we'll have enough to go and play the minigame for a chance at 99 1-ups, which on one hand would be kind of cool, but on the other hand, it would kind of wreck it, because I'm enjoying seeing just, like, naturally how many lives we are building up. With that said, though, that brings us to our first boss, which is this bird guy. I don't know if the bosses in this game have names, or if they're just meant to be called, like, generic bird that does this thing where it swoops from one side of the screen to the other. Again, I actually haven't played this game in a very long time, so their kind of attack patterns are not something that I remember too well, but it's not like they take a lot of effort to kind of, figure out. This kind of seems to do a very natural swoop from one side to the other. Is that honestly it? Alright, there you go. So, I mean, even if you got game over, it's not like, the bosses are that difficult. You just have to redo that, and it wasn't very difficult at all. But with that said, that is Golden Coin number 1, Tree Zone. Woo! 1 down and 5 to go, and as you see we have that flag there. Tree Zone is conquered. Now, as you saw, I think that there is kind of like a certain order that you could do the worlds in order to make the coins show up inside of the door in the correct order. But I'm going to do the worlds based on the order that I did them as a kid. Again, it's not like you get like a special weapon at the end of the world that then helps you beat the next world. So you're totally free to do them in absolutely any order that you want. And the next world that I did after Tree Zone as a kid was always the Macro Zone. And the interesting thing about the Macro Zone is that everything is really huge. And as a kid, I had never heard the word macro before. I had heard the word micro, which of course means small. But macro was completely new to me. But based on the fact that Mario looks really small on the map, I always thought that, it was like a typo. Like, Mario gets smaller, so shouldn't it be the Micro Zone? But I think it's just trying to show you that the house is really big, and that in comparison, Mario is kind of small. So that's it. That's what we're looking at next. Macro Zone is kind of World 4 of Mario 3, like the big zone, big world of Mario Land 2. But before we do that, we have this really arbitrary individual level, which isn't really part of any world on the overworld map, and that is what we're going to start with next time we play Super Mario Land 2. So 1 world down, 5 more to go, and then Wario/Wario's castle. I don't know whose castle to call it, because again, it's technically Mario's castle, but Wario took over it. I don't know. Basically, this has been a lot of fun so far. I hope that all of you have been enjoying it. I hope you'll join me next time for more. So thanks, and hope to see you then.